Hello, beautiful community. Welcome. I wanted to briefly come out to you and talk on the topic of women's power and what robs women of their power. We hear so often this topic is hot, female empowerment, and I really wanted to add a little bit to the conversation, a little bit of depth, as I kind of like to look in depth onto things like this. Before we go in, I'm gonna invite you and myself to just drop into the lower belly. Let the lower belly drop with the inhale deep into the belly, feeling how the muscles are relaxing, the belly is falling out, we're feeling comfortable, grounded, connected, safe. And from this place, from the belly place, I intend to speak, and I also invite you to receive. So when it comes to women's power, the thing that we carry is the radiance. And I spoke about it earlier, and I want to clarify what it means. If you look at sun, right? Sun is radiating light. It's radiating life. And it's just there. It's just there. It's just radiating that, right? It's not doing something actively. It's not going pursuing anyone. No, actually, it's things are like surrounding it, and they're going around it, and they're receiving life from the sun. So when a woman is connected to her power, that power is life-giving. It's radiating life. And unfortunately, most of us in the current days are disconnected from the power. And I will speak of what robs us of our power in just a few minutes. When it comes to the difference between the male body and female body and the body energetics as well, there are quite a lot of differences. And one of the things that really makes us different is our emotional range. And it comes from our physiology. Look at our hormonal changes throughout a cycle, right? In 1 month, we go through many different stages of hormonal development, and changes are something that is natural. We're cyclical beings, and it's natural. This is where our power lies. The fact that we can go from really high to really low, this is our power. This is our natural state of being. And so whenever we are cutting off parts of that range, we're cutting off parts of our power. So think of, when we talk about how we're like, oh, when we're premenstrual, maybe there's some emotional stuff that's coming up, and it's starting to have this sort of like bad rap. But it's not. Yes, we may be using it in a toxic way. We definitely need to relearn the ways of how we actually use our power and unconditioned from a lot of stuff. But just in general, the speaking to our emotions and how much we can feel, this is our strength. So whenever we're cutting off, whenever we're putting ourselves into a box where we're like, have to be a particular way, we have to follow the rules of the etiquette, or we have to follow the rules of fashion, or the rules in relationships. Now we hear a lot of these talks of feminine women or masculine men, which is just another way of putting ourselves in the box. Then we're cutting off a huge part of ourselves. And specifically that part that is more on the dark side, right? I call it the sacred rage. Sacred rage is something that is deeply connecting us to life, and is coming from life and from our desire to serve life. So when women are disconnected from the sacred rage because they're supposed to be a particular way, all like nice, dolled up, polished, sweet, submissive, then because we are the, whether we are mothers or not in this physical life, we are mothers. Energetically, we carry that frequency. And we're connected to the one through our womb. We're connected to the Great Mother through our bodies. And so we're connected to life givers through our body. So whoever is life-given, they can understand and they can cherish and worship the life so much more intensely. And so it's our responsibility to carry that forward and to deliver that knowledge and that sacredness so that other people that don't have wombs can connect to that energy and also revere the sacred. Because if we've forgotten what sacred is and we can't connect to it, then we can't really communicate to others and have others respecting it. So, but when something shitty is going on and we see that it's just so much in disregard to the sacred, right? It's like completely opposite. Naturally, we feel the emotion of rage. And that rage is important to be expressed. And there are ways to express it that are not toxic, but are straight to the point, that help others to awaken to the reality. And oftentimes when we are on the healing journey, because all of us need to heal the feminine, men, women, all of us, and the masculine too, but the feminine right now is sort of like, I can see how the masculine is sort of given the stage to the feminine right now. To heal, to lead, because feminine is the natural leader, because again, it comes from that intuitive connection to the source, right? To life itself. So when we cut off those parts of ourselves where we put ourselves in some sort of boxes, then we are not able to serve the sacred, and then the whole is forgetting what's right, what's wrong. And then we become the victims of those who have forgotten. We become the victims of and being abused, and then we're just sort of like, when we come to that healing place of like, whoa, like I've been a victim, there's also a part where we have to take responsibility that now it's not just about blaming, but it's like, how can we come back to the power and how can we restore the justice? And it can only be restored if we remember the truth of the sacredness that we carry, that we have to connect to the radiance that we carry and radiate it into the world. Radiance is kind of like, it's that energy that it's not dependent on, when you look at a woman who is radiant, it's not dependent on the style of clothing that she's wearing, the size that she is, what makeup she, her age, right? It's just that life force. It's life force that's just kind of running through her veins, through every cell of her being, and it's just radiating. And that's why it's so catching and it's so magnetic to others, and people just want to be around it because it's like well of life. It's like a fountain of life around her that she holds. And every life, all life creatures just want to be around there just to nurture themselves. But she is not giving it out of herself. That radiance comes directly from the source, and when she opens that, unlocks that source within her, then it's just flowing. It's not her energy that she's sharing with others that she then becomes depleted, because sometimes we can fall into it. No, when she's connected to the source, it's just the energy that's just flowing through her. And everyone is nourished and cherished, and there's never not enough. And it's never something that we have to say, oh, like we have to limit, etc. That's fake. That's not true. A radiance then. And so for her, you know, it's not dependent, like I said, on any kind of external sort of things, physical things, but it's directly from the source, and she needs to remember that connection and really feel and embody. It's not something that I can speak over here and explain to you. I use right now the language to help you to point at that. Maybe you felt that before, maybe it's awakening some wisdom in you right now, but it's something that is to be embodied. And we use practices, we use meditations, we use, you know, different techniques to help embody it together with your internal guidance that we activate and awaken. Because a radiant woman is never just led from outside, she's led from within. Any other teacher, mentor, guide that comes along the way, we understand that we're all in horizontal relationships and we help each other to activate the wisdom, the memory. But if we never look at them as this sort of ideal person, I want to be like them. No, I want to be more like me. That's all I can be. We all want to be more like ourselves. And that's when life can be just running through our veins, and that's when we become that fountain of life for others. So what are the things that can rob ourselves from our radiance, from our power? Well, just based on what I already said, that, you know, that feminine power is that unboxed, full range of the spectrum, you know, from light to dark and everything in between, then any kind of rules that put us in a place where we have to be a particular way. And we do that not because what I want to be, and I'm just intuitively guided to be today this way, to dress this way, you know, to whatever, put on my face some things, but just because I think that this is going to make me more of something that I want to be. That's already fake. That's already robbing ourselves from our radiance, from our power. So you can look at it on different things. So physiologically, anything that we put on ourselves or into ourselves, because we feel like without that, we will be less of, less beautiful, less attractive, less youthful, right? So whenever we put all of those things in ourselves from that place, they robbing us from our truth, from our radiant nature. Also, anything sort of like intellectually or educationally, another certificate that I need, right, in order to be, you know, to prove others that I am, you know, I can do what I'm intuitively guided to be doing. And so I go and study, not because I just crave to learn more of this, but just because I want to get that proof to the society that I am now eligible to practice what I want to practice. That's robbing ourselves from power as well. So basically, any kind of structures that tell us, whenever we believe the structures that tell us that without them we are nothing, without them we are less, and that goes for men and women, we can already say that those are toxic structures. And we can engage with them because right now there's just so many, they're pretty much everywhere. We can engage with them, but from we have to first of all understand what they are, and we have to understand that what sort of the hooks they use, and so we don't just fall onto those hooks, but we're actually genuinely, we come from that empowered place that if we engage with them, we know what the cost may be, and we know where to draw the boundary. We know where they can start pulling our energy and sucking our resources. So anytime you feel like, oh, if I don't do this, all of those crazy things like, shapewear, for example, or Botox, because we tend to think that women, our nature is to be beautiful. Yes, but that beauty doesn't come from that just like kind of put on me something so that I look more beautiful. It comes from within. And then I would be inspired to wear something. But it's rarely something that constricts us. Remember what I told you about the unboxed? The power of the woman is that she's out of the box. She's not in it's energy, it's everywhere, right? That's why her emotions are all over. And it's important that she knows how to use them and to express them, not in a toxic way, but that's her power. So anything that constricts our freedom by telling us we have to be a particular way, to be a feminine woman, you have to do this, this, this. Or don't speak to your man in this way, and then he's gonna be blah blah blah. So it's like anything that constricts us is already fake. It's superficial. It's taking our power away. And like I said, no, we do have to have a strong inner masculine. We do have to, know how to set our own boundaries and how to kind of direct our own power in a healthy way that's serving the source, the divine, whatever, right? The sacred, the life. We have to do that, and there's a great work that needs to be done for women to heal that part as well, but it's never just from outside because somebody else told us that. It's from within. So I think I'll leave it here for now. This is a big topic. I kind of came unprepared, but I wanted to speak to this. And if you want to go deeper into this, there's a couple of containers that I offer. There's a private container you can come in, and we can work on kind of unlocking and healing the feminine. Like I said, it's important to heal the feminine for both men and women. And because it suffers even greater in men, women just can express it a little bit easier. And another one is the Radiant Femme community, the kind of a monthly membership that we have right now, and we're starting in June. And that one, we're going to be working through the chakras. And by the way, something I really forgot to mention is that one of the things that robs us of our radiance is when we do not feel safe. Because when we don't feel safe, we can't fully express ourselves. We can't fully allow our energy to be. We will have to be putting ourselves into the box where we have to control for the safety. So it's really important that we embody safety and that we heal anything that is related to safety. And that's a great layer of conditioning. And so in the Radiant community, we're going to be working on the root chakra in June, and it's all about creating that inner safety, that inner container that holds ourselves regardless of whatever externally happening. And so if you have any questions or if you have any ideas for the future talks, let me know. I'll be happy to continue speaking to this topic. There's other resources that you can find on my page. And I'm here if you have any questions. Thank you so much. See you.